And just to let you know, we've used the microwave a couple of times.
Uh-oh. You are about to be okay. All right. Let me get into the system here. Hello, everybody. This is Max Farrell. This is DexFXMarkets.com. Today is the 8th of June, and we are in the mix of it. I'm here with Christophe Gagne. Good morning, Chris.
Hi, Max. Good morning.
So we have, we're in our live systems this morning. We've already had some pretty darn good results in our network. Excuse all the tabs that I have open. $295 since yesterday. This is in a live format. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm trading it live because I've been trading it for some time. I don't suggest you trading it live until you get a piece of information, which is consistency. I have consistency, so I'm comfortable with the process. I'm okay with the process. Now we have some news hitting off here right now, and we've had some movement of the market. Of course, I'm using our Dex Atomic system on our Trading View system. Okay. You can also use the Dex Atomic system directly from our network. There's my alerts, the Euro USD. I'm going to get in now. There's a lot of trades that are happening. Let me just jump right over to here. We're going to be jumping right in. Excuse me for a second while we get prepared here. Let me try. This is not too bad. It's got a good little pocket to it. These are all really far away from the FM or from the moving average. So I want to be a little bit careful. We are getting this bounce back into this solution. So what I'm going to do is 69.90 on the Aussie. Probably be a little bit lower if I really didn't. We're looking for the 10 to 11, 69.90. There's that one. We're going to do 45. Is that what we're staying at? We're staying at that 1-to-1 risk to reward at the ATM. I'm going to jump back in. We're going to look. Remember, it's just about trading every single arrow that comes over, and for what is really far off. Okay, 26.95 on the GU. Now remember, your account may not be able to handle every single one they're coming over, so choose a set of pairs well. 26.95 on the buy. 26.95. There's 92. I'm going to do a market order on that one, place order, and go. So we're into a trade there. Okay, and let's get back down to the others. 108.92 on the USD JPY. What was that? Talked myself out of my trade there. 108.93. There's 94. Nothing on it. Well, not enough on it. 45 for the place of the down. Hit the close. I'll put a working order on. Now there are other ones that are on to Euro USD. And here's what I'm going to do with this Euro USD. You can also trade this at the money in a style that this is going to come down to a point, and it's going to try to meet up with the MA. Okay, so there's a potential for this process. Okay, 12.98 on the buy for the Euro USD, and what we're going to do, 12.98, since it has money on it, but it doesn't have a lot, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And what that did was that I set myself an area that I felt that we were going to get a bounce, right? So let's pull that Euro USD up and have a look at it. Okay, watch what'll happen, right? This is the area that I'm looking at. You got high contention with this right in here. You have some touch here. Okay, so right around there. And that's 20 or 12.99, right? 12.99, 12.98. What I wanted to do is that I wanted to come down and bounce and kind of come back up here. Even if it comes down in this area, it should pull and retract and come back in. But it looks like we didn't get picked up on it. I was hoping to get the bounce on that in that process. So 26.92, 26.92 on the plus. We'll see if we can get to that. There we go. We're hitting 94. Now, in these solutions as well, there is an opportunity for when we're trading the ATM series that if it were to come and hit and bounce off, if it was very volatile time period, like say in this particular case where the pair comes out and it goes and it's really far into the money, and then it comes down, it's going to vibrate down in this area and kind of give you a heart attack for every 18 seconds of your life, right? So because it's right there. Now, this one just finished over this morning. But I think it was a loss on somebody's page that they took one that was in the money into it a little bit, right? Because they got it off and it didn't have a lot. So they came back and got the one here. So somebody lost that trade. My biggest suggestion is that if you're going to model into the trade, be very, very careful, because that process doesn't ring true as this one here, right? If it drops down and you model back one, that's a possibility. Okay. But a loss is still a loss. If you come back one deviation to do it, then you could take an opportunity like I did here. I don't know if that's gotten picked up yet. Nope, it didn't get picked up. Was it close? Nope, it didn't really get too close there, but we'll see what happens. We're into one within that solution. All right, so that is I could hit the other pairs that are on. There's a couple. Now, when I do this, I go after the masters first. I go after the prime 5, and then I come back and I look at during this time period from 9 to about 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking at this, right? I kind of speculate a little bit better. We're in a red zone right here. I'm going to come back and do a market read here. We know that it's going to try to pop back up to this area again. So I'm going to 76.08 on the Aussie on the Aussie JPY. We're going to have a look at it. We did get picked up on another trade. So now that's, now look, I like the confluence here. There's a USD and USD. So the pairs are switched, and it is switched here as well. So this gives me good feeling. It's either they're both going to win or they're both going to lose at this point. So let's see the JPY. What is that JPY sitting on? Is that a Audi JPY is on a sell. So is that the same here? Yes. Okay, good. And so what do I want to be at? I want to be back up in this area. So 76.08 on the sell, 76.08. There's 07 sitting at 35, 34. We want it to be 45 and place order. Okay. And you can kind of see we have a, let me see if I can pull my reserved. So there's a reserve at $168, right? This is around 10%, less than about 8% of my balance at the moment, right? So I'm okay with having this on here. Now, if you're wondering, Max, this is a lot of trades, or if you think that's a lot of trades, we are getting them at such good rates, 45. There's one for $51, so that's $49 profit. So even if they lose, we only need one to come back to be close to break even, two to really be in really good money. So what is the success rate you need? If you're watching this, Chris and I, we talk about this quite a bit on the success rate and what's needed to be able to do well. Well, we know already that if you're at $50 on either side, that's like 50%, right? So what do you need? So if you're getting a profit margin of $45 per each trade, you only really need about 55% to be successful. And what is that? What kind of hovers right around 50%, Chris? You got coin flip?
Yeah, exactly.
Throw the dart at the board, buy or sell, so you can get a really good set. If you use really good discipline and you haven't a small idea, if you have no idea of the market, like how to pull back or what have you, don't sweat it. The actual system of every arrow coming over and putting on the trades has a 60% chance. Every individual trade has more than a 60% chance to win. And when you're at that level, does it really matter at that point, manipulating the trade at all? When it comes out, you come to the open side of the bar, right, wherever the arrow is, and 7608, and you put a working order for something on Nadex as close to 7608 as possible, okay, within 1 or 2 pips, and you put that trade on. And you're getting it such an amount at $45 profit margin. You don't do it with anything less at that point. You can do it for a little bit more. I mean, it can come if it gets bought in, it gets bought in. But my point is how does that look as far as the numbers go? Now, with the DEX ATM system that we have, you could trade on the DEX portal right now. You just go to the 1 hour chart. This is the only one we're using it on. We're not trying to make it for 5 minutes. We're not trying to make it for 2 hours trades. We're not trying to make it for all that other nonsense in there. If you just come to the charts, the top of the hour, pick your favorite. I may even adjust these to be like the master pairs and the secondaries, depending on, how generous of my time I feel as of late, because there's a lot of stuff going on. But if you get here at the top of the hour, 5 minutes before the top of the hour, settle yourself in, get your Nadex account up, get your charts up, get whatever you need to get up. And you simply go down the line. And wherever there's an arrow, you try to get into that trade. Wherever there's an arrow, you go at the open side of that and pick your price, go to Nadex, get your statement, and get it on. If you only get into 1 or 2, that's okay. As long as you're consistent getting in, you're getting in at the open price, you're getting in at that process. The strategy itself of how we use the arrows has a 60+% success. Okay. On the average of that process of all the trades ever been done, but it has more than a 60% chance of winning. Some pairs during some times have more of a percentage to win, more percentage to lose, but the strategy itself doesn't break under 50%. So even if you lose, even if you were to hit 50%, you're still only out of every 10, you're still only losing, $55 at that point. You're only losing 1 trade overall at that point. And so you're really only minus $55. You're not losing 8 out of your 10. You're only losing if you're doing, 5 to 5. If you trade 5 to 5, you trade 50%, under 55%, then you're going to lose 1 trade. And that's a minus $55. But if you do a 6 to 4, you're now in the money. Sounds weird, right? But you're just barely in the money. You do a 7 to 3 in that time, in that frame, and you're in the money. For every 10, you're making, $100, just about. The point being is that if you sit and focus your timing, you get into the trades properly, you're going to win a lot more than you lose, because you're not going to be able to get into every single trade manually. Now, there'll be times that you'll hit pockets of losses, and there'll be time that you'll hit pockets of wins. More so on the pockets of wins than anything else. And I want to show you, this is mine from today, from last night. This is my live account. So I should probably put that up here. So excuse me for 1 second. Okay, this is live money. I'm trading 1 contract at a time until this gets to right around in the profit margin. You see, and again, here's the beauty part. When we were trading ATMs or ITMs, right, in the monies, really far into the monies, we were doing a, excuse me, I'm looking for annotate there. We were risking $75 to make 25, right? And I was telling people only trade at any one time about 10% of your balance. So that means if I traded 1 contract at that, I needed $750 in my account just to trade 1 contract. Well, if we do the same here, we're trading 45, we're want to make $45, but we're risking 55. I now only need 550. But because of the way that we're doing this and the success rate that it happens, I'm okay with trading 20% of my balance at any one time because, and I don't suggest this for everybody, but I'm okay doing that. I'm okay trading 2 trades up here and doing, and it's not even 20% of my balance. You want to have 10 times the amount that you're trading at any one time at 10%, right? So if I have $1,100 in my account, I could trade 2 contracts on 1 trade or 2 trades with 1 contract apiece. Now, in my case, I'm trading it a little bit higher, you know, especially with my reserves in there, because if they do get picked up, I'm going to be at a higher rate of my system. How much would I lose, right? But that judgment's upon you at that point. We suggest between 10% to 20% of that of your balance at that point. If you're going to make, if you're only trading, if you only have $1,100, if you only have $1,000, you only have 500, you should be just picking 1 pair and staying with it. Always trade that 1 pair, or pick 1 trade out of it that's just going to be, that has money on it already, that you're already at that point, and you have that opportunity. You'll have 60 something plus percent success. Now I have 88% success because I'm choosing pairs that I want to get into, because I'm looking at the market as well. That's my choice. But if you just wanted to blank vision this, just pick a pair and go with it, you're going to have success. They all eventually vibrate at that 60 plus percent, 63% success. They all do. Let me see if I can find it. That's the one I had the other day. Here is David Menning. It's his sheet from when he started back on the 2nd. I think it's the 2nd of June, right? And I told him that I needed help for people to help test the system. And this is what he's done. And it's brilliant because it's just him choosing his time. Now he's retired. I'm not saying anything that I shouldn't be saying, but he's in there testing the process with us. And so last week, so the 2nd, I think it was the 2nd, what day was the 2nd of last week? That was Tuesday. So we started on Tuesday. So from Tuesday to that Friday, which was, by the way, the NFP, right? What was God, I'm all over the place. What was Friday? Friday was the 5th. Okay. I guess each one of these yellow lines is a day, right? It's Italian. So every once in a while a day goes by, right? No, boy, that was bad. I'm gonna get nice write-ins on that. Max. I'm gonna get a couple write-ins on that one. I'm Italian, so I'm allowed to say it, I think, right? So his first day, $201, right? I just isolated. I'm looking down here, $201 for his first day. Okay. Now remember, he had losses. This isn't about picking the perfect wins, right? He had about 15 trades and he won $201. Okay. Chose the next day. I'm glad he put those yellow lines in now. Next day, $181 with 16 trades. Next day, this is his 3rd day in. A couple more trades than normal, but $525 with 18 trades. Okay. Next day, $36. So you see what I'm saying? So this one here, he had a day that he had 19 trades, but he had a pocket of a couple of losses in here that kind of probably swept him a little bit, right? 1, 2, 3, like boom, boom, boom. But he still came out ahead. So no losing days yet. Now let's get on to the 7th. The 7th, because, oh, by the way, that was the NFP. That was the non-farm payroll happening that day. Okay. Now let's get on to the 7th, which is today, or which was from last night to today, right? Mr. Menning works very hard. Look, this is 8 o'clock at night. So we're just going to say the 8th. So that's Sunday. Let's just find there's a 7th all the way up to this point because he traded it at midnight. It looked like he traded at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm only going to count the ones here. So $108 for Sunday. And then we get in today and we're minus 21 because he's had 2 losses and 2 wins, right? This is 50%. Remember when I said that you're going to have a small little loss if you have 50% success? And there it is, $21. I mean, if he pops it out, it's 87 for the day if he counts the midnight one into this process, but still the loss is variable. And again, we're still only trading at 1 account at a time or 1 contract at a time. So this isn't about how many How many winning trades can I put in front of me, Max? How could I not lose that trade or not lose that trade? There are some trades that some people are getting into what we call double ups, where it moves against them. And so they get into another one. Hopefully that'll shrink back for that direction, that kind of stuff. You probably avoid that mentality. I even got into that mentality for a few minutes and just stay with straight boil in that trade in, right? Looks like we're into 3 trades now. We got 3 trades on $150 prop or $150 risk to about $110 now. There's 45, there's 49, there's 45. So 90, 130 something dollar profit, right? But I lose 150 if I lost all 3, but I win 130. So if I lose 1 out of these, if I really want to win 2, okay? I would really like to win 2. Why? I would like to win 2 out of that because if I do, let's just say I win the 2 $45 ones, right? But then I lose my $49 one. There we go. I still made 41 bucks. Now, is that a possibility? Absolutely. It's a possibility. Is it a possibility to lose all 3? Absolutely. But then I'm still only down $150 and I just need 3 trades to win all that back easy, to get or very close. But even then, I haven't had a sweep on a time frame yet. I haven't had a sweep on a session yet. And I've been trading this for about 2 weeks now. I haven't had a sweep to where I've had 3 or 4 trades on and I'm wiped, right? So what I will do is that I'm not seeing these may come in. I'm going to take these ones off down here because I have my limit where I want to be at, right? I've taken my limit to get off of this point, okay? Now, however much money we're risking here, there is a part of, do I scalp, right? And that's the big question. And I think, Chris, you and I talked about this too today, about scalping. If you're going to scalp, I think you should do what? What should you know as a scalper when to scalp?
Want to know your percentages based on 1. Is it going to win, or is it well, in this case, what's it going to win? And you want to get to 90%. If you scalp, it'll be the ratio is just math.
Right.
It's just going to be less than 1. How far less than 1 depends on your fear of loss.
Yeah, that's true. A good concept to have is that if you understand the value of when the trade may lose and when the trade may win, you have to have the availability to know, okay, this trade may lose. It's just a push, and then the market may be coming against us. So if you got in here and it was a buy and the market kind of goes up in your favor and it's like, oh, look, we got a lot of money on, but there's still a possibility it could come down here because this is a downtrend and you just hit a level and you bounced off and this is a super level. And you're like, all right, well, this, if you have the intention to know how to read the market, this could be an indication that, hey, this still thing may lose. It may end up down here and I may lose my money. And it gets to a certain point of success, right? But how much of that success does Nadex allow you to get to? How much will they offer you on the profit loss side? The average is about 70% of whatever you're looking to profit. Okay. So at $45, it's not very much. It's like 30 bucks, right? 31 bucks. What is it? Let me see. Now you got me. I think it's 35, right? Or 31 something. Times 0.7. Yeah, 31.50. So I could put a working order in that gives me 31.50 profit, but now I'm $14 under what I normally would make. Okay. So if this had the possibility to lose, I would simply take that. Right. So if I wanted to, I could go look at the USD JPY and I could say, okay, well, let's have a look to see where we're at with the USD JPY. This is really far pulled off. It's way down here. Could it come back up into this area because it's really pushed off? Yes, there's a possibility it could do that. So what I'm going to do now, it's sitting at $34. I'm above my 70% ratio. So what I'm going to do in my case, for me personally, okay, yeah, that's $11 exchanged. I could easily go in and say, okay, I want to take my money, right? I want to make my 70%. So there's $32. I'm going to go ahead and do that one, get that one off. Okay. But that's my personal process. Am I a major scalper in this process? No, I'm not. But now at $31, if I do lose one of these, I now need to make 2 trades back to be in profit again for that process. But if I do make 2 trades, I'm $10, $20 back in profit. Now, if I win one of these and lose one of these, they kind of cancel each other out, but at least I have the win of that $31 on board. But it's because I know by looking at the market that this is a huge pull away from the moving average. I also know that it's going to bounce back in. We got news at the top of the hour. Okay. So it's going to come down here. It's going to bounce back up. So could it come back up and take me out? I don't think so. I think I just blew $11 there. But in order to give you the example even with a live account, I'm okay being over that 70%. Because even if I traded that all day long with a 60% success rate, okay, even if I traded that all day long and I won 6, let's just say I scalped them all for 31. And if I lost 51 or I lost 50 or $55. All right. So I trade 6 times $31. Okay. It comes out to be 189. And I lost 4 times 55. Okay. I'm still not losing that much at that point, even if I'm breaking at 60%. But I have to know that I can scalp out at a higher rate because it's going to change your success rate. The reason being is that you're going to scalp out on some trades that would probably normally lose. But you also have to know when a pair starts going against you, you're never just scalping out green. You got to learn how to scalp out red. And when are you going to do that? Well, in most cases, like the Great Britain pound USD right now, sitting at 26.92, 26.92. This one's really close and it's red, right? It's like 4 or 5 pips off. So let's go have a look at that one. We're going to look at the Great Britain pound USD. And see, it's sort of vibrating into the process. It's coming back to touch this area. Now, when would you scalp out, right? We know that this is a heavy traded zone right now. So in between here and here, this is a nice little median zone that's in here. If this comes down and closes out down here, it still has a potential to bounce back in. And that's about 20 something pips, right? If you're breaking a major zone, like if you're crossing over an MA, like something up to here, you still, this went back up and as it came back over the MA, my trade was already over here. This was probably a losing trade. I could have scalped out in, right? Once I went over the MA, I was good. But once it came back, I was literally probably 10 pips in and I would probably only saved about $10, $23 or somewhere in that area. The same thing here. I really didn't have an indication here other than a model of, hey, look, this is where it was at. It bounced off of this big, heavy zone area. When this came out like this first arrow, this first bar with the arrow on it told me I was probably going to lose this trade, right? Because I bounced off a heavy zone. I'm far away from the MA, but that's how you learn how to read it. Could I have traded all of these from every part of the morning and just taken my opportunity? And the answer is yes. From 8 o'clock in the morning, if we were to do a, here's 8 o'clock in the morning, here's 9 o'clock this morning. This one was a 7. I wouldn't have been trading this one. But there's 1-0 right there. So far I have, I think like 4-0 this morning, 6-0, or no, what is it this morning? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I'm up $61 and I lost one. So 3-1. It's 3-1 already, right? This morning, but I'm up $61. Actually more now. I'm up 90 something because I got the other one on board. Right. I got that $31 in there so far. So I'm up $99, something like that. Make sense?
in Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're going over the numbers, and people who are just taking a look at this, and I'll just Max is, what he's doing is he's a numbers guy, so he's going over the numbers and the what you would call a little bit on the whys and things of that nature. But if you go back, if you're watching this after the fact, you realize how simple it is, and it doesn't require phenomenal amounts of skill. It's familiarity, yes, but
Mhm.
it's a really simple process. And Max is just Max. You're just giving folks on
Well,
the whys for those
yeah.
who are interested.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a flurry of different types of mentalities that are watching right now. And if you're watching this after the fact, you're watching during, you're probably within ZDON, or you have some sort of knowledge of Nadex. If you have no idea what Nadex is or how to trade or what to trade or anything else, and you're watching this, then I probably lost you already, right? Because I want to speak to those. If I come in and speak to those that have no experience whatsoever, it'll take me an hour just to get to the setup for you. Okay. So if you're watching this and you're unsure, go join our network for free, absolutely free, over at dexfxmarkets.com, and begin to teach yourself and learn from that system what Nadex is. Do the Nadex Ninja, figure out what a statement is, what a binary is, and all that kind of good stuff. But if you have any inkling of what Nadex is and how important trading at ATM is, you're going to see that these numbers are amazing. They're absolutely amazing. Now, I'm going to go check the Euro USD to see whether or not this is a process for me to scalp out at this point. Paul's probably rolling around going, Max is scalping. The world's coming to an end. I think I'm going to end up taking this one as well. But I'm going to do it in a little bit different fashion. Remember, the rule of thumb is that you always buy more for than what you sell, right? So if we bought this for $55, we want to sell it for how much to make our 70%, which is our 31.50, right? So that's 86.50 at that point. So I would come down here and I put 86.50 into a box and hit place order. And what I did is I just clicked on the actual statement price itself to bring up the sell. Okay, because we bought, now we need to sell, right? Now, in this particular case, that was very easy to figure out because we bought it for this. But when we're into a sell, you have to kind of do it in a reverse, right? You got to think like, all right, if I originally purchased a buy for, or a sell for $45, what would I need to do to get out of that trade? You would actually need to be buying it for $31.50 less. So you would take $45 and minus $31.50. Okay. I'll also look at this 26.92 on the Great Britain pound USD, 26.71.87. So about 5 pips in off of that process. Let's go look at that to see if we're going to be in any trouble on that one. Now, in most cases, okay, what I'm doing right now is I'm as an experienced trader. If you're experienced in your modeling, okay, that's what this is. It's all just looking at a model, right? Could this come down and bust over me? And the answer is yes, it could actually. We're at 26.92. $26.92 is the, what's going on? 26.86 on the plus. Okay. So we're about 5 pips in. So what I'm going to do is, remember what I said, we have to know when to fold them, right? Because I'm taking that one out because I feel it's going to come back down here and stay down in this area. The 26.92 was up here, but instead of losing $55, I just lost 20. You see what happened there? So this is a little bit more advanced. Now in the regular old, just head down and grab your pair. If you don't have a lot of money, if you don't have a lot of time, then you're just going to come in, you're going to hit the charts. You're going to look at the chart. You're going to see the arrow. You're going to get into the arrow at that point, and you're just going to trade. You're going to put on as many trades as you possibly can afford to do without causing your balance risk. Okay. which is like usually 10%. Okay. And you're just going to trade the numbers. And what happens when you just trade the numbers is something to this effect. You get these kind of numbers. This is David Menning. This is mine. I haven't put mine on this morning, but let's go do that. Let me grab mine from just this session here. And I'll calculate them up for you real quick. All the way to here for 11, 11, 11, 11. There we go. Copy. This is right before your eyes. So in this session, there's a Great Britain pound USD. Move this bugger down just a little bit. Now, doing cleanup in between your trades is always really important because you want to get. There's the USD JPY closeout. Like, takes a little finesse, but you can definitely do it. And we're still into one more trade. So I'll take this one off because we're still in that trade. There's the loss. There's the one loss. There's the one win. So already for this morning, just $7.50 for that, or for this session, minus 750 or plus 750. You see, so I was able to scalp out for a loss, knowing that it would probably lose at that point. Now, if I'm right or I'm wrong, doesn't matter anymore. I'll ask that to Chris. Does it matter if I'm right or wrong on scalping out for the win or the loss at the moment? You still there, Chris?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. We got
That's okay.
some high wind here, so I lost concentration. So what?
No worries. Well, the question I asked is if I'm scalping out for the win or the loss, right? If I scalp out for potential losses or wins, as long as my profit's still in profit, I'm right? I feel like learning how to scalp properly, because that's what this is about today. You can just take the trades and do what you're going to do, like David Menning is doing. But he's also taking some scalps into, because he got a little bit more experience. But there's a process that if you are scalping, you should be able to scalp out for wins and know how to scalp out for losses as well. And that's what it really comes down to. Even though that, the two trades that we have or had that I took off, I only made $7.50, but I saved myself. If I did lose, it would have just simply broke even at that point, and been under. I would have been sort of in the loss at that point. If I let both of these go to fruition, I would have been minus $10, right? So basically, I've saved $20 from that trade. Knowing that, that's what you have to be able to recognize. When can the trade falter? When can the trade win? Because you're taking advantage of a small gap in success percentage, right? You need 55% and it's sitting at 60. That's only a 5 to 8% difference in average and in success. So you have to be able, how do you tip it in your favor, right? Since our average for every single pair is 60%, I'm making my average 81% plus because I'm scalping out on some, right? This is the first time I've did I scalp out before? I didn't see any scalps on there just yet. So this morning was the first time I've really scalped out, right? There's one there, but these were like, it's really super high. These were like 90%, right? So I just took them. I mean, yeah, I could have done whatever and we could be higher in, but for the session so far this morning, since we started, That's midnight last night. So we're going to go there. We're up $125, real money. We're up $125 trading one contract at a time. And I guess the big question to ask Chris is, how do I make $250? How could I have made $250 this morning?
Max, it's that new math, Common Core. But I feel as if you double it for the 2 contracts, it'll probably work out.
I think that would work out. Yeah.
So that's what my heart's telling me.
Well, your heart's correct. Give that man a Cupid doll. 1297, 1298. The Euro USD sitting here. This is still at a 50-50 solution. But if we come in at this point, I don't want to get in and speculate. Right at this point, I'm not going to get in and speculate a trade that's still sitting at the money. Right. Because remember, I came back down to vibrate this trade. So if I look at it now, 1298, and I come back to the trade, 1298, I'm sitting right here. Come back down. Where do I feel it's going to vibrate out at? It should be back up to this area over here. Right. And so there is a potential to say, okay, well, this means that I could wash the whole morning and just take it for minus $7.50, and I'd be just a couple cents in the hole. But better than, if this closes out, it'd be minus 50 or 40 something after fees. So I'm going to let this sit here, and I'm going to let it do its job, and I'm going to call it. I'm going to be done at that point. So I'm going to walk away from this point. So there is a few things that we can discuss now, and we'll put this up on the board. Not getting coffee, of course. Okay. So in trading the DEX Atomic, there is a few ways that we can trade the DEX Atomic that are very profitable. The first one is what we refer to as ITM. This is in the money. And in this in the money strategy, we're taking particular trades and using dynamic support and resistance to set our statement prices over on Nadex. This usually means that the pair has come in, you get a signal that goes into a direction. It's going in that direction. And what you're doing then is looking at how the market has behaved prior to grab yourself a statement price at a particular level. Okay. Could be down here. And what you're hoping on is that there's at least $25 worth of profit margin that's just sitting there. Right. And this is ITM level. The next process is called ATM. And this is where we take every single arrow and we say, when the pair comes out, we're grabbing ATM level, which is right here. And what we're doing is we're just putting a marker in for $45 worth of profit. These are profit, by the way. Now, there's also another opportunity here called OTM, which is out of the money. And this is where the statement price is at another support level. And we say that if it breaks over the support level, okay, but what we're looking for here is about $75 worth of profit margin, right? Where we're only risking 25, right? 3 to 1, like 1.5 to 1, or 1.2 to 1, right? And then 1 to 3. Now, each one of these has their own value of success. This is sitting at about 90% success. This is sitting at 62+% success. And this is sitting right around 30% success right in that area. So each one of these values has its own availability to be able to trade and its own timing. When is it the best to trade in OTM? And OTM is usually best traded at right around news areas, right? Because you're going to get a lot of volatility. You're going to get a lot of liquid that's going to come into the market, and it's going to power in one way or another. Another process on ATM, when is the best time to trade ATM, is you want to have a little bit of liquidity happening. You want to have some, not volatility, but you want to have standard market. So I try to trade between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. because I know the market's moving. And usually it'll continue to move in my favor or bounce back or do those kind of things. But it gives me more opportunities to scalp in, scalp out. Chris has an attention that sometimes at night during the Asian session that these pairs work out a lot better because they're not as moving fast. So when you pick into the direction, you get like a sell, it's usually going to stay right around in that area and not move very much. And you're just going to squeak in and you'll get a lot more squeakers at night. So our intention here is to find what's best for you to be able to trade the DEX Atomic. For me, seeing the ATM process here gives me so much more hope because my fear is always on that ITM, which I've been trading for many, many years. I still get nervous energy when I trade this because I know the flip around means that I'm gonna have to work really super hard to get those other three back on just to back to break even. Right. And if I trade 3 trades and I lose all 3, if I get swept, that's $225 a loss for me. Or even if I win 1 out of these, that's still $125 loss for me. And that's still scary. Right, this is minus. That's still scary for me. So I'm really enjoying the ATM trading pack and doing it from that mentality. I have the fortunate process because I've created the system. I have the system in front of me. I have trading view. I have all that stuff. But listen, you can trade this network simply just the stuff on the charts on the website. That can be done. The reason I don't use it because I'm doing the analysis over everything else as well. 1291, 1296.
Max,
Yeah.
There really is, and I'm in testing.
Mm-hmm.
The psyche of being relaxed when you're dealing with one-to-one, essentially 50-50,
Mm-hmm.
give or take $5, right?
Right.
Around in there. It makes you really, you're not, the fear of loss is, it's still there, but it's not, we'll say, emphasized when you're doing in the money trades.
Right.
So it allows you, I think, to develop the skill using the ATM system. And then when you get a loss, it's
Mm-hmm.
$50. Oh man, I only got to make, another trade with 1 contract and I'm back even again.
Yeah.
So
Or
when
damn near
and
close.
then when you see the loss and you see right, you see your account balance, you're not getting smoked, with just a a few losses. So that's what I'm finding. It's just a relaxed way to trade.
Well, if we were to do a count, right? Let's do this. I'm going to pop up this system here. And we're just going to do a quick count from 8 o'clock this morning to the 10 o'clock expiry. That's only 2 hours worth of trading on the primaries and the secondaries, the masters and the secondaries. And I'm going to count these out so we can see, how well we would have done this morning, not just on so much. And you could do this as well on the network, on DexFX Markets. You don't have to have TradingView to do this. Here's an 8 o'clock, right? Started out here where this green line was. This is where we would have gotten the statement with 1 or 2 pips. We would have been able to get in at $45 at this point. And did it win? The answer is yes, it definitely won, right? Price is way above. This one's a not, you could see this one winning. Same thing for this one. So we have an 8, and then we have this one right here. Now, of course, this one hasn't finished out, but I'm pretty sure you got the win here if we got into this trade. Right? So there's 2-0 for the Aussie. Now we're going to come down to the Euro USD. Here's 8 o'clock this morning, got into this one, boom, win. Now we're probably going to lose this one, right? But we did come down to 1298. So this one may still win. In fact, if I come over to Nadex right now, oh boy. Okay. So it's close, about 2 pips off, about a pip off now, right? It's close. There's potential to win that. You can still keep that on there. but let's just say that we lose this one, right? So 3-1, 3-0. So you got 3-1, right? Let's say we lose that one. Now we're going to jump back in. We're going to go to Euro JPY. Here's an 8 o'clock. Here's the 55. Now I know we won this one because there was a pair that was on for 123.34, which I know that won. So this trade won this morning. Okay, so that one won. So that's 5-1. Oh, 4-1. Did I say that right? 4-1. And then we have this one here that's popped on, but I'm pretty sure is a win, 5-1 now. So we won 5 trades and we lost 1 so far. Here's another one at 9 o'clock. This one's not at 8, so this one's at 9. This one here, definitely win. Looks like the Great Britain pound USD would have came back for a full win in that point. So, you know, again, coming in and trading and just trading on, it has its value. Okay. So 2 more. So that's 7-1 at that point. Now look at that. Jeez. Again, scalping out, knowing when and knowing not. This is why scalping out, I'm not really a big proponent of scalping, and Paul Davey and everybody else can tell you, but I'm still trying to show you how to experiment with these processes, even on live money. So now that's 7-1. And we'll grab this last one. This was a win for this one here. Oh, that's the 7 o'clock. Okay, so here's the 9 o'clock, which is a win, and the 10 o'clock, which is pretty much going to be guaranteed a win there. So 1, 2. So now 7, 1, 8, 1, 9-1. Okay, so 9-1 this morning. So what does that look like in your world? So you got 9 trades, $45 a piece. Okay. $405, right? And you lost 1, minus 55, right? So $350 won. If you would have traded every single trade. How I look at it is that if you go back and you want to back test, the best thing to do is go to your time frame that you want to trade. If you're trading from 8 to 3 o'clock, look how many trades are being done, how many you're going to win. You're not going to get into every single one. You're probably only going to get into about a third, maybe a half of the trades that you're going to get into, but there's the ones that you're getting into, you're still winning 60-something%. Okay. Because the market's moving super fast or what have you, or it's just bouncing at those areas, the overall projected average for every single arrow is 60+%. And even if you are losing some trades during one session, you can have a losing session. Don't get me wrong, but you're not going to get swept for the day or the week unless you're just trading one session a day. If you're trading just one session a day, if you're trading just 1 hour a day, then you could probably get swept for a day. And if you only trade 1 or 2 days a week, then you might get swept for a week, but I don't see that happening. I haven't seen it. There's 7 people trading this thing voraciously, and I am one of them. And I haven't had a bad day yet. I've had a bad session, but I haven't had a bad day. And in trading live, I haven't had a bad, this will probably be my first session. If this one takes off, if this one wins, which it is right now. Okay, it's only by 1.5 pips. If it does win, then I'm up $60 or $52 for this session. But if I lose, then I'm down a couple bucks for this session, but not by much. I'm only down $43 or $44. And for the potential to make $100, $200 a day, I'm okay with taking a chance of maybe losing $50 for the day. I'm okay with that. I hope all you guys are too. Once again, we're now above that parameter. If I would have just left everything alone, we would have swept all 3. We would have won all 3. That's $130. And now we're sort of just going to be right around 60 something bucks, about half off. So scalping has its premise. If you're just in and you're going to scalp and that's your mentality, always do it, always do it, always do it. Don't doubt it. But if you're going to doubt, if you're going to worry about that, you're going to add too many elements to the table. Where did it go?
Next, one of the things I've noticed, without trying
Oh,
to
it
be
bought in.
overly facetious here,
Right.
but not that it would ever happen, but the since I've been trading the ATM process,
Right.
I see a lot more green in the profit area rather than red. So you're thinking, wow, I've just been doing this ITM, and I'm used to seeing, well, a lot of times, I'm seeing red,
Right.
but just it's ATM process, you're seeing green, and the tendency that fear of loss kicks in. You start thinking, man, I'm gonna go ahead and take it. So
Right.
it's just one of the things,
It is.
psychological thing.
You're absolutely right. It is. It's a psychological process that you have to battle with every single time. And you got to get through the emotion of it. Like, I think we just had the EURUSD buy out because I left that working order on. Right. So that working order paid out. I mean, it got me my 31.50. So again, we're up to making 31 bucks here. I'm going to grab the information, put it on the chart here, or put it on the system here. Just give me 1 second. I can't think because I'm smelling bacon right now. Somebody in my house is cooking bacon.
You can't, if you want people to see your screen, just
I'm doing it right now.
Okay. Okay.
There's that. Those are the older trades, the ones that are up there already. Let me delete those rows. There we go. So just sitting on this webinar right now, how much money did we make? And again, per contract, per average, what have you, right? Sitting on the webinar right now, we made $37. Not a lot of money, okay? But the consistency value is that if I do this, how does that turn into, $74? Trade 2 contracts at a time. So far for today, for this from this morning, okay, I'm up $100. I'm not even in 10 trades yet. I'm still 7 trades. So if I were to trade again at the top of the hour here, that I could have an opportunity to win a good day. If I have another, $37, $47, $50 win cycle here, I could be making about $30 to $40 an hour. If I'm sitting down for 4 or 5 hours for the day, I could probably pull in $200 or $300 a day trading 1 contract at a time. See, my reserve level never hit over $200, $250 on my system, right? That's how many trades you have on, or, from that position, how much you're risking at any one time. It's not like I had 10 contracts on a piece. If I wanted to turn that into $370 for a single session, I could go all in and trade, find the best trade of the, but then learn how to trade the system, learn how to trade the network, and choose your best opportunity, right? We were 81%, now we're 83%. And this will vibrate out right around this because I'm choosing a lot of decisions, that I'm going to get into some, could I have won this Great Britain pound USD 26.92? Let's go look at that so I can kick myself in the butt further. 26.92. Let's look at the thing here. 1 p.m., 12 p.m. Is it? No, 11 a.m. There you go. Yeah, it would have won. We got 2 minutes left. So just putting them on and leaving them on and letting the thing do its thing, it's a valid process. So I would be up $75, $130, $140 right now. Just leaving it on to do what it's supposed to do. You see, so when you add that many more variables, so there's a mentality here, right? And the first mentality is trade it. Just let it trade. Just put it on. Set and forget it. Follow the arrow, put it in. You don't care if it's right or wrong, or it may be right or wrong at that point, because now you're adding too many variables. just get in. And if you have the account that can afford it, do it. And if you don't, then just do one at a time. Do one pair at a time, but you set yourself that process and stick with it, right? I'm going to wait for 2 more minutes, and then we're going to go in. We're going to put some trades on, and I'm going to call at the end of the day for us for the webinar, and we'll go to the next process. But before we get in and I go make those trades and put those trades on, no matter what they are or how many come up or what have you, how many I get into. If you're here learning the solution, if you're learning the network, my suggestion is to get in now and do it on the free side, right? And that sounds really weird, right? Why is the owner of the company telling you to go do free? Why isn't he trying to push you to a sales button? Because I don't want you in the system unless you're learning it. I don't want you paying us unless you're making money from us. I don't want you in just learning the system and then, because you're going to tax us a lot with time. Do you understand? You need to know how to do the system. You need to know how to make money. Because if you're making money and you're using our signals, you're using our system, you're making money, you're going to be with us for a very long time. And that's what I want for you. You understand? That's what I want from you. Oh boy, 26.97, 26. Because what was our trade at 26.97? So finished out 26.97. What was our trade at? I forget what it was.
I think it was 26.92.
26.92. So yeah, we still won. That would have won. You see. All right. So let's get right into it. Here I'm getting distracted. Pull back here. We have this alert here. Aussie USD. It's in at 69.86 for 12. 69.86, 69.84. There we go. Right there. Boom. Oh, look like it got picked up right away. Go back to the pair again. Here's a Euro USD. Did it give us an arrow? No arrow there. No arrow there. No arrow there. No arrow there. Okay, let's look at the secondaries. There's only one arrow on there. Oh, I already have the secondaries up. Auto GPY, Euro, Great Britain, Pound. First one for me this morning. I don't like it that, okay, it doesn't matter. We're just going to do, that's 89,000, so 8,900. And that's for 12. 8,900 is 8,901, $45, and place order. Now we're into 2. We should have been into that one right away. Okay. So it's in for 45.75. So let's just do 45 in a minute. Probably still get into that one. I'm not sure yet. Oh, wait, wrong one. No arrow there and no arrow on the Swissy. All right. Well, there's 2 that were up. Now we're in both of them. So that's how easy it was using the system. Okay. We went over 2 systems. We got 1 master and 1 secondary, and we got into both of them. And all we're doing, okay, now all we're doing is we're just playing the odds. We're playing the numbers. That's it. So for this session today, $37 for this session with you live right now, $37. Could have been a lot more if we didn't scalp and all that kind of nonsense. For the day so far, for the 8th of June. Let me pull up here. For the 8th of June, so far, 111. Could be $200 or $300 day. You got about 2,000 or 3,000 in your account. You should be making about $200 to $300 a day. If you're not doing that per one contract at a time, you're not sitting in a chair enough, or you're not doing the time enough, that's okay. You should be doing some variation of that. If you're trading only one session at a time, you should be between $50 to $100 per session. And what I mean by session, I mean by 1 hour time period, 2 hour time period, 3 hour time periods. So if you're sitting down for 2 or 3 hours, you should be making between $50 and $100 an hour per trading one contract at a time. You will have better days. You will have worse days, but you won't have bad weeks. Usually one bad day, it's picked up and it's pushed past the second day, right? Avoid heavy news stuff. The FOMC stuff, yeah, I kind of avoid. NFP, I avoid, but even like David Manning traded right through the NFP. So there is opportunity to trade. Remember, it's not so much how many, I guess it is in a way how many trades I can get into, but yeah, you do have just trade. It does have a success rate. Now you may have a better day on the NFP than most, who knows? I always do this. I'm trying to find his thing. There it is. Right. I mean, David Manning comes in and he trades. He's in at the middle of the night in the Asian session all the way through the London session, stopping at 4 o'clock in the morning. But he made $87. Yeah, he traded a lot. He's traded through the night and he made $87, but he's only trading one contract at a time. Since last week, he's made $1,000. So if he stays true to this, about $1,000 a week, $4,000, $4,500 a month, I think that's worth $147 a month. What do you think, Chris?
Absolutely.
Well, if you can't, go ahead. Do you have anything ending? Because we're going to end here.
Oh, we're going to end? Nope. It just, as I keep saying, just get started. You just go back and review. If you're watching this after the fact, or you want to watch it again, and ask yourself, the way Maxx sets up his trade, does it really require you to have this fantastic knowledge about trading in order to implement this system? And I'll go ahead and answer my own question like a good professor would. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Yes, you have to be familiar with Nadex, but for most people, when they come on board, they are familiar with Nadex and they're just looking for a system. I mean, I talk with a lot of people. Yeah. And some have come back after even several years, and they're saying, "You're still here, guys."
Yeah.
So,
like we would know, right?
We are still here because we have something to offer that's valuable for people. So just get in.
If you can
watch
follow
Maxx, how he implements the trades, and good.
You don't need a lot of knowledge. Remember what I was saying earlier about scalping, that makes it more convoluted. The process makes it more convoluted. But really, just coming on, don't try to navigate. Yes, this trade may have lost, and that you see on your page, Euro USD. This one may have lost, but this one won. Right? And so even if this one won and this one lost, you're still sort of just under break even. Your next trade on, right? If you were to just go down, you just come at the top of the hour, hit the first button in the series and go down the list. If you want to start from the bottom up, that's completely up to you. All right? That one won. This one won. That one won. So there's 3, 4 and 1 right there. 5 and 1, 6 and 1. So if you would go down the list, all you have to do is come in, and as soon as if the arrow appears, boom, you hover over where the open price is of that time period for that arrow. You look at the little number on the right-hand side and you go to Nadex, you get a statement place that's close to it, and you trade it. And you don't do it for less than $45. And that will put money in your jar. And I can guarantee it because we've been trading it and strategizing with this now for the ATM for about 2 to 3 weeks before I even announced it to anybody else. Before David Manning was doing what he's doing, I was doing what I was doing. And this was only over, a half a week trading every single one that came over. I only had one bad pair on that solution there on the Great Britain Pound JPY sitting at 52%. But because it got absorbed, if you just chose the Great Britain Pound JPY for that week, yeah, you would have had a bad 3 days. But this thing ended up coming out to be like 63% and well above for the rest of the week. Because this is only over a 3-day period with $2,200 being won. So tell me, the opportunity is here just to come in and trade. Pick a session, sit yourself down in a seat, and do what you're going to do. Don't call me and ask me how well we can put it onto a cell phone and can you trade it from Can I trade it while I'm driving my truck down the road? No. Sit yourself in the seat, even if it's for 2 or 3 hours a day, even if for an hour a day, pick your trades. It's super easy to get in and get out. Done. And if you don't like that, if you want to be more of the on the winning side all the time, but you're not going to make as much money per contract, then trade ITMs. Trade the regular Dex Atomic system. All right. I'm going to let you all go. Chris, thanks a lot for hanging out. And you know what? I just realized, because I'm looking at the system in here, Thor Rafferty's here. Thor, are you here still?
Yes, I am. I muted myself. I was just listening in.
Hey, buddy.
The show.
Sorry about that. Can we
Oh,
kind of
no, that's all right. I'm just a fly on the wall.
Do you have anything to add to this wonderful ATM system? Have you had a chance to trade with it at all?
I started today. My demo account had expired at Nadex because I hadn't used it in so long, so I had to reinstate it. So I just kind of started today, put some trades on. I haven't even looked at the results. They all expired at 11 o'clock.
Right.
So I'm testing.
Good. You're going to find that it puts you in a little bit different mentality. You don't overtrade, you don't overthink it. Like I was way overthinking it today. Even the guy who invented the thing is like overthinking it. But it's a tremendous solution for us. I've never had anything like this. And all the things that we've built, everything has been really, really strong, but nothing like this. Nothing that has the results right now in our face. And you're going to find that once Thor finds onto it, it's all going to be over. he'll be in there mass producing this thing over and over and over again.
Something like that.
Yeah. But listen, since yesterday, $332 won in my live account, trading one contract at a time. Once this gets up to about 500, I'm going to 2 contracts at a time. Okay. For every $500, I'm going to be going up one more contract per trade. And this will get me to that parabolic run that I'm looking for. See, me personally, my goal is about $4,000 to $6,000 normally, but in this system, I'm pretty sure I could probably bang out about 8 to 9 grand a month, maybe even 10. And doing no more than I'm doing right now. It's trading from 8, 9 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I look forward to showing you these results, improving these day in, day out over the next week. So starting on this coming Friday, we're going to have the wrap up, which I'm going to invite all of my people that were trading this system to join us and kind of share results for the week. So I'll put out an announcement to everybody. So trade it for the week, guys. If Paul Davies watching this too, please get in there and trade this for the week. Have some results. Be ready for us to talk on Friday. You can trade just to Thursday. I'm just going to trade it till Thursday. I'm not even going to trade Friday. But I'm going to get in there and I'm going to trade this out for the week. And at the end of the week, we're going to see exactly how did this grow? When did it grow? How did it grow? And you'll see that. So join us every day to watch us go through it. But Friday's the big day. All right. You guys good?
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chris, good?
Thanks, Max.
All right. We'll see you next time. I'm Max Farrell. This is DexFXMarkets.com, and this is the Dex Atomic system. Make sure you jump in there and donate. If you can afford to donate, please do help us out. We are building the system absolutely for free for a lot of people. Some are paying for the extra tools and stuff. If you want the extra tools, come on board, get into the system, get trained, get trading. All right. So I'm Max. This is Dex. We look forward to seeing you next time. And as always, trade well.